Hi, it's Cindy, and I'm glad that you're back with me today. I'm going to make, hopefully, a quick, clean, and simple card. This is for the Caseology Challenge, and I will link you to it. I'm sponsoring it this week. I sponsor them like the first Tuesday every other month, and I've been doing that for a couple years. And they have a keyword that you have to use to make your card, and this week it's metal. You know, faux metal, real metal, something metal. So I decided to do some heat embossing in pewter for my metal element, and it's going to be a sentiment. And of course I would pick like the hardest thing to do. I've already die cut 4 of this hello die from Mama Elephant, and this is like totally intricate too, and I was panicking because I mean, look at that, you know, I didn't have any like a glue stick, but I remembered that my Tombow had one on this side, and I think a lot of us forget about that. So what I'm going to do is just glue all of these on top of each other for some depth, and then for my last one, I'm going to move those out of the way. I am going to go ahead and then just die cut this using some white cardstock. The first 4 were out of Stampin' Up! Marina Mist. This is a large die. It covers a good 4 1/4 card. And this one's going to be white. I could really cheat, which I'm kind of thinking about doing, is grabbing like a piece of shimmer silver cardstock, which doesn't sound like a bad idea right now, and I might do that depending on how this turns out. So this is my last die. Everything popped out pretty nicely for me. This is Paper Tray Stamper Select White, and I did use quality cardstock on everything. So I have 5 layers. I'm like really nervous about, okay. And then I just got my little pokey tool and kind of got everything else out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we'll do our card first, and then I'm going to go ahead and layer these up. I'll do one on screen, and then I will layer the rest while I'm not rolling, and then we'll just get everything together. And don't be surprised if you see that shimmer paper show up. Okay, I have everything up here. I had this grunge stamp set, gorgeous grunge, from Stampin' Up! Sitting out yesterday, so I thought that I would just go ahead and use it again today. Basic A2 tent size cardstock. This is, again, Paper Tray ink. You all know how much I love my bone folder. And then I have another piece of cardstock here that I've cut down a little bit over a 1/2 inch from the A2 size. And I am going to use my stamp press today with some Coastal Cabana ink, and I was wrong. This is actually Coastal Cabana paper, because I think that when it's layered up from the side, it'll look pretty cool. And since the white one's going to be embossed anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to use this image here, and I'm going to stamp it up the card kind of going at an angle. And I always get scared when I have ink right there, because to me that just kind of means it's going to show up on your cardstock, which I really don't want. And then I'm just going to kind of do some generational stamping here, and then get myself up the page. I'm not caring too much about how perfect or pretty this is or anything like that. I just want the lines to show up, and since I am seeing that little corner thing, that means it is time for a diaper wipe, and just go around the edges of the stamp like that. And I'm real fussy about getting my stamp press. I don't ever want to see ink on those feet. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep on going up the page, or I'm sorry, up the card. So I got my the top panel of my card completely stamped. Looks nice. And then I just put some 3M foam tape on the back. Love this stuff. And then I'm going to try and get this on as straight as I can. And I'm going to stand up to do that. I mean, like when I'm stamping normally, I'll sit down, but videos, I much prefer to stand up. Okay, that turned out pretty good. And then imagine this hello, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's going to go straight across like that, and then the tails of the sentiment are going to hang over just a little bit. So I think it's going to be pretty when it's embossed in silver, and there's just something about blue and silver. Okay, I said I was going to do one of building this up. I'm really afraid to do it too. I mean, Jennifer McGuire does it like she's just blinking her eyes, and I'm sitting here shaking like a dog who's in trouble. I'm just gluing, you know, putting on the glue. That's all I'm doing. And I hope it sticks. What's really making me paranoid is these ends right here. They really are delicate. Okay, this is going on. How well it sticks to it, I don't know. That is to be seen. And also, in these little loops, make sure that there's no glue in there. Let me zoom in. Because, and how come this isn't showing up as a color? I'm looking at it as white. I don't know if you're seeing white or not. Okay, that's just to see if I can have color. I don't know. Make sure there's no glue in here, because it's all going to show through since we're just layering it on top of each other. And this is my first time doing this. Hopefully it'll just kind of go together. I don't know. Maybe if I stack it or something. Okay, it went maybe a little bit on the crooked side, but I'm just getting my little piercing tool here and putting it in between and then pushing it down really hard. And hopefully that will be the key for me. I think the next time around I'm going to try just little dots of glue to see what will happen, because I'm really not happy with how this turned out. And I may just pull it off and start all over again, but not in front of you. But I just wanted to show you how it's done, and if you want to see how it's really done a good way, go to Jennifer's blog. I mean, she would have had 10 on here by now. So I'm going to sign off for a sec, get the rest built up, and then we'll get this embossed and we're done. Okay, here's my hello, and that's how thick it is. This will be the first and last time I do this technique. I tried, every single layer has a different way as to how I adhered it, so I thought I would share with you my experience. The glue stick didn't work very well, so I tried Stampin' Up's heat and stick powder. That worked pretty good. You don't have a lot of wiggle room. It's got to be pretty fast. What else did I try? Oh, some liquid glass. You know, same thing as glossy accents or crystal effects. And then I went ahead and just tried, you know, dots of Tombow. Didn't like that very much. And then I got my Quickie glue pen. This is what worked. So I think I finished off 1 or 2 layers with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is just grab some scratch paper here and my Versamark, and why is there dog hair everywhere? I'm just going to take that right to, oh, I also tried this as well to adhere it. Actually, this did pretty good, you know, because it's pretty tacky. And I'm just putting a ton on. Okay. Then I'm grabbing another piece of scratch paper, and I'm going to grab my tweezers. I'm going to sprinkle some pewter powder over it. I don't think they make this anymore, but I mean, it's close, you know, it's close enough to silver. So I'm just going to grab this and then shake it off. And I'm probably going to end up putting a few layers on this. So I have my awesome heat tool here, and I'm just going to go ahead and heat it up. Okay, since this is still wet, I am just going to go ahead and stick it. Oh man, I just had like powder fly everywhere, like including on top of my perfect Versamark pad. I'm going to stick it in here and give it another layer. This really is not cool. Okay, I have 2 layers of embossing powder on my sentiment and about 10 layers everywhere else. I'm going to do it one last time. My poor Versamark pad. You know, I've had this thing for years and it's never gotten trashed until now. I'm going to pull this back in and then just put one more layer over it, and we're going to be done heating this up. And I was thinking about putting it up with some foam adhesive, but you know what? When you have it built up like this, you don't have to. Because, oh man, because when I had it laying on the card, it looked great. So I'm going to grab this back up at the O. Pull my piece of paper back in. That's probably pretty useless about this time. I could just dip it anywhere in my desk. There's like two terrible things you can do. One is a re-inker, a red one, actually any color. I'm going to do that end right there. Busting open on your desk. And the other one is what I just did. So I'm going to set this down over there real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. Pull this back. And one more time. Okay, there's my embossed hello. The reason why I wanted to put a third coat on was because the second one I just stuck it in the embossing powder when it was still wet and then embossed it. It just didn't give me even coverage. It had a lot of bubbles, so that's why I did that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull our card back in, and it's going to, even though it looks pretty, how's this going to stay on? It will, because I'm just going to put some dots, not on any of these, the tails, because I think they look kind of cool, sort of being warped. So I'm just going to open this up and get myself a good flow going. Okay, then I'm just going to, like I said, add a couple dots at key places and smear it around with my fingers too. So now that I have my adhesive on the back of this, I'm glad that I don't have it on these little tails, because that way it's easier for me to get it on the card. And again, I'm going to stand up just so it gets in the middle. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to lay it down very gently. And let it sit there and rest. Okay, so we're looking pretty good there. I am never using that pewter embossing powder again. Now I have a hang up about it. Next thing I thought we would do, that I really wasn't planning on, but that's kind of, well, very plain and simple. I'm going to grab, and I always use the 1/8 size when I put some sequins on my card. And these are sparkling clear sequins by Pretty Pink Push. And I'm just going to dump a couple out here. And these are the clear ones. And I just thought that they would really accent the card very nicely. So I'm just going to sprinkle a few on the card. I just get my little piercing tool and then grab the dot or the sequin and then just stick it on like that. And I don't have any problems with it coming off at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of those on. So we are now done, and here's the final results of my clean and simple card. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, spill and all, and I will see you again. I'm going to play around with those blendabilities by Stampin' Up! Like I said I was. So you'll probably see that tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this video. God bless you and have a great day. Bye.